And welcome to the latest episode of Parks O'Plenty, which is my Let's Build series set in the game Parkitect. And what we've been doing is we've been going through the campaign and we're playing scenarios one at a time. And the goal is that we would finish the scenario so that we can progress further at some point. But before we do that, we want to kind of spend time totally fleshing out the park, not the way that I needed to complete the scenario, but rather whatever whim or desire I had. And in this case, what I decided I would do is the first scenario was pretty basic, and the set of amusements we had up front was pretty basic. So I opted to go for kind of an old-timey legacy park, right? And I kind of went with a New England theme. And that's where we've been. Now, that being said, my research staff should probably get the sack because they have not been helpful at all. With an old-timey park, I wanted, I just, at the very least, I want a wooden roller coaster. And they've given me just about every type of roller coaster except a wooden roller coaster. And then I wanted a little variety in my decorations because I was striving for trying to capture that what they call the Federalist look, the Federalist type, and you could see it in Rhode Island and Massachusetts, places like that, brick buildings, white trim, black roofs, that type of thing, and eventually I did get some options that helped me with that, but only after researching every other decoration in the world, including the bricks I was looking for, which didn't look very brick-like. So it hasn't necessarily been the easy-peasy walkthrough I thought it would be, but on the other hand, we have been making solid progress. We've been making we finished the scenario quickly, and then we've been basically fleshing out the park the way I want to from front to back. And we kind of took a break from researching coasters and decorations. So now we're focusing on shops and thrill rides because customers are complaining that there's not the type of thrill ride they're looking for. So we'll try to add that. Let me see what thrill rides we actually have. And the coasters. Yeah, I know I don't have the wooden roller coaster, but I mean I've got quite a selection of coasters here. Let's see, mini coaster excitement 35.5, 39.5, 26.7. 30, it's almost 35. I mean, these aren't real high. I take that back. Excitement 67.6. Now that's a whole lot of decoration. Very low nausea though. But we're at the point where what I'm looking for is the general specifics of the base coaster type because these pre-canned coasters, I do love them. I like them. But that's what I use to get through a scenario. When it comes to fleshing out like this, we will build all of our coasters from scratch. So Power Surge is available. Okay. So now we'll set this thrill ride to be shops. We need some concession. Floorless coaster. Oh, okay. I didn't. It said shop. Oh, I must have set it to shops after they got going on the after the coaster had already been chosen. So okay, throw rides and shops. We're going there. But what is this thing? Twister. Oh, Power Surge up here. Well, that's a whole lot of spinny. As I've said in the past, I'm not a big fan of the spinny. Not for me personally. Most people just can't get enough of the spinning. So I'm thinking thinking we might want to put it here. The exit would go directly out to the main arterial. I would actually kind of use the space between this one and the teacups to kind of have another branch of the arterial so that we get some more benches and lights in there. Because I think that really makes the park look great. So let's push this over to the side, and I will put the queue on the side here. So let's see, let's get this testing. And this ride will hold 24, so that means 8 squares of the queue line. So let's grab my queue line from the Ferris wheel, and let's go ahead, grab it again. This way will change the color too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we'll take the regular path and line that up to the main arterial. So I mean, that's the basics. I mean, it could function now, but now we gotta kind of do our magic to bring it into the look and feel of the park. So we're gonna cover up the queue line. Because as you can see, it's raining. I mean, it's what, November, so yeah, it's a rainy time of year. Nobody likes standing in the rain. Even ducks don't like standing in the rain. So especially a cold November rain. So we'll want to go ahead, cover this all up. Got a nice brick feel to it, though. As we've established, those aren't bricks. those are clapboard pieces, strangely enough, but they have the look we want. So it's a new month. Let me just place these lights here. Let's try this. Okay. So, finances. So we are, November's over, and we weren't doing fabulous with concessions, but the net profit was still pretty decent, right? Ride admissions are holding pretty well, holding steady. So that's a handsome profit there, which means $1,200 operating profit. It's down a little bit, but that's okay. That's great, actually. We can even use some of that money to pay back at the bank, because banks are kind of picky that way. There is an expectation that sooner or later they get their money back. And let's see, the happiness is up there, immersion is kind of up there, nausea is way low, nothing wrong with that. Thirst is a problem, as usual. Oh, wow, that's a lot of red. What I'm guessing is probably because we just started the game and it just started raining, or it was raining, and I'm guessing this is just because we loaded the game and they didn't have time for the park to work its magic yet. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So we will kind of discount this data for now, and we'll see how things look at the end of December. Now we're going into winter. Like right now it's 0 degrees Celsius, sunny but cold. This is not our peak season. So if you can make it work during the winter, then you can make it work anytime. Same problem I had before, not the right color. Okay. And we'll add this white curbing because I think it looks pretty good. Adds a little contrast. Plus, you know, if you've ever been someplace that has, you know, a nice and consistent curbing, you know, it does add something, right? It does add a little more definition. Kind of helps sharpen the overall look and feel. Very nice. And there you go. So let's go ahead and extend all of this. Decorate all over the place. Trying to think. I felt like I've been at an amusement park since the last time we did an episode, but I know I haven't. Trying to think. Were we at a fair? No. Carnival. No. No, I can't. I don't know. I just feel like. Did I watch something where they were at a fair? No. Wow. Excitement of 4.2. I think we can safely charge $8 for this one. And take it out of testing. So now we can actually kind of theme this. Man, that purple and that green very much remind me of the early 70s. So we'll kind of slip into our fall colors. Keep the lights as they are. Add some music. I'm thinking I might need to grab some music that I can license. And use that because, you know, all the music's starting to sound the same to me. And it'd be nice to have some music that's more tightly themed to whatever theme we have. Though I don't, I have no idea what New England amusement park music would sound like. But old timey music, yeah, we could, you know, get some old 1920s jazz in there. And I will call this Bunker Hill. Now, you know, we have kind of an American history theme. And what does this ride have to do with Bunker Hill? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely, you know, but that's I got to tell you, you go to some of these parks or carnivals or fairs and you see what they're calling the ride. You know, sometimes the it's not what the ride is or what the ride is like, but rather some type of image that they're trying to pop into your head. And it may have nothing to do with the ride at all. And this is one of those cases. Just call it Bunker Hill. Bunker Hill was an important battle. Very, very early on in the Revolution. So, anyway. Now, I don't think I want to just completely close this up like I have with the others. I think I wanted more of a tower in the middle, but more. It's not really a tower. It's, I don't know. It's not really a turret either. It looks kind of like an old American train depot. A lot like the train station in my town here. It's been preserved. So, okay, it's the end of the month. We can place more windows after we figure out our whole money situation. So it's that was December, and we're doing great on concessions. That's even with buying a bunch of supplies. So. But that brings us back to where we were. But that's good. Ride admissions are doing great, right? Very strong, very nice. for December, no less. Must have had a Christmas special nobody told me about. And that's a good operating profit. So that means another trip to the bank. You know, the thing about the bank is they want you to repay them. So if you take too long, they'll come after you. But they don't want you to pay too fast because they want that interest. And all of our numbers here are looking good. And there you go. You know, those big time negatives we saw have basically gone away. And, you know, because now we're up and running. People have gotten, our little digital people have gotten a chance to go on the little digital rides and have their little digital fun. So we had 5 people that said they had a great time. Presumably they're going home. I guess they're done. Ferris wheel was a waste of time. That's probably the fact that it's breaking down every other minute and it was raining. So, okay, but we, you know, generally these numbers are making me happy. So now, one of the things I've been thinking about, and I kind of commented on in the last episode, is we might want to look at putting a concession over here in the corner. What's more, we're going to be building out the corner, so we want to make sure that we have the corner has a type of coverage with like both maintenance personnel and janitors that we will need to maintain a high quality experience for our customers. And I just realized how corporate that sounded, so I'm sorry. I don't want to sound corporate. I'm not completely anti-corporate, but I'm certainly leaning that way in recent months, or actually years, I guess. But anyway, so what we can do here is finish this landscaping. What I would have really liked to see is some more fence pieces that are kind of like the one I'm using, but with a different design, right? Setting these lights to be set up the same way that they are elsewhere in the park. And the benches. Spinning nickels broken. Restraint stuck closed. Okay. Okay. Now let's redistribute trash cans a little bit. Wow, that's just too much spinning for me. I do like these trees. Now this back area, we have a pattern that I've started to continue already. So let's go ahead and just flesh that out, right? So these are bushes without flowers. And these are bushes with flowers. So the flowers look plastic. And these are tulips. No, I think we'll just rotate. Yeah, that's better. That's not. Okay, that works. Okay. And let's go ahead. And the reason I'm putting these tulips up front is, one, I had them in hand. But two, the tulips aren't really going to get in the way of passersby seeing the attraction. right? So one of the key elements of any type of amusement or theme park design is you want, especially your high ticket items, but you pretty much want customers to see rides and attractions, and you want them to see them from the best or at most advantageous vantage point, because you want them to get curious, you want them to get excited, you want them. Oh, sub sandwiches. Okay, sub sandwich is good because, you know, right now I think I have pretzels and I have burgers, so sub sandwiches is good. We'll switch this to thrill rides. Sub sandwich sounds pretty good right now. But anyway, yeah, so you want, you know, like the earliest parks, you really didn't get into that all that much, right? They just, you know, where would an attraction fit, and you put it in there. In fact, the way I kind of think about it is like the science of amusement parks and theme parks really doesn't happen until Walt Disney builds Disneyland, right? Then it becomes something that's studied and sharpened and you know, refined to a science. But this park kind of emulates a time before all that, which is, you know, that gives me some freedom to just kind of plop stuff down wherever. Though I'm still trying to stick to some of the classic designs, which aren't classic to this era, but classic to the Disney-esque or the Walt Disney era, which is, oh great, thunder and lightning. You want to put your biggest crowd pleasers, the ones that people might be coming to the park just to experience, you want to put them as far away from the main gate as possible. And what happens with that is that they act like a magnet, and it brings your guests to it through the rest of your park. So basically it creates the traffic that then hits everything else in the park on the way, and that's where you maximize your excitement and your money. So snacks are doing okay, profits doing okay, park admissions are doing okay. Another strong month. I'm having some great months, and it's winter. It's winter. So now, where I grew up, we often did sometimes go to Knott's Berry Farm or Disneyland in the winter. Let's see Bunker Hill here. Ooh, it's almost 4.5 as far as excitement goes. So we can try to get away with charging $9 per person, and let's see if people freak out about that. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, charge what the market will bear. And let's look at the peoples. Thirst is climbing up into yellow territory. Not paying that much for Ferris wheel climb. Well, that's because it's bad weather and stuff. Not paying that much for Twister. Man, Twister is on again, off again. Let's see. No high intensity rides around here that interest me. Yeah, I get it. Though the is down to only 4 people, so that's better. I mean, we used to be in double digits there. Want to go on something a bit more intense in Boston Tea Party. Okay. Now this is kind of like in the way. And what we talked about is over here in the corner, of course, is setting up a new concession area. Because with the 2 concession areas I have now, you can see that people aren't using them as much as I'd hoped they would, right? There is definitely a thirst factor. And I think it's gonna grow, right? Because we're gonna add hopefully some souvenirs soon, plus some new food choices, definitely some new drink choices, and we need better access throughout the park. So the mechanic is on its way to the Ferris wheel. Finally, he says he's fixing it, but it looks like he's still on his way. So I won't mess with him because I'll reset the timer and he might wander off someplace else. But so this corner though, so what I want to do is it's already part of the corner zone. We can have zones that overlap, but can I apply a zone completely like this? I thought you had to start on a non-zone tile first. And I was right. You do have to start on a non-zone tile first. So we will unzone this tile. And then we'll go ahead and set this up 5x7 star shape. Okay, we'll take that. Take a look at that in a second. Star shape, huh? That's for a ride. So we'll make this now shops. And let's see. So start. Oh, another spinning spinner ride. So. Not one I'm likely to ride on in real life, personally. But, you know, there's some crazy people out there, including in this digital space. They might go for it. So, let's go ahead and color this red, because that's what my backstage spaces are colored. And we will call this Backstage Central, or Backstage Corner, because it's the backstage for the corner zone. There you go. And I want to temporarily paint it a different color so I can see my spacing here. Okay. And now if we... There we go. I can see, yes, that the actual zone... is laid out exactly like you see there. So we'll lay down some walls and we can set the ground texture back to what it was, because what it is now is pretty obnoxious. Unless I was going to build a theme of an autumn themed park, that would be pretty awesome. But in our neighborhood we've had a really great fall. What's really remarkable is that we're only now getting to the point where most of the leaves have fallen off the trees, and that's remarkable because usually it would have happened about a month ago, because we usually get windstorms at this time of year, but it's been pretty mild winter that way, so got to enjoy the colors. And landscape guys had to they didn't get called in the middle of the night, but on the other hand, they got to deal with the leaves for a lot longer than they normally would. Okay, so let's look at the cache. So now it's March, right? We are on the verge of spring and the proper season. So February was really good, even with an outlay of supplies, but ride admissions were down quite a bit, and that gave us our smallest operational profit in a while. But for the record, it's still a profit. Thirst is climbing up, but the immersion seems to be coming up too. And you know, the biggest negative thing I see is that you think Paul Revere is too expensive. Oh, okay. And Bunker Hill is bringing a nice, tidy sum. So we just need to quit raining for a while so that people will be happy to be on all of our rides. Now let's see how that goes. So got a ways for the next research results, as disappointing as they probably will be. So look at this ride. We have almost nobody on it. This was supposed to be one of our big money makers. If I look at this, it's, I mean, this has been you can see there's some peaks and valleys, but this valley was, oh, hold on. This is something that occasionally happens. So, people can vandalize just because they get pretty upset, but this is an event that happens in Parkitect where they'll hit me with a wave of vandals. And what they do is they just transform people who are already in the park into vandals. And the way I get around this, you can wait for them to vandalize and then go and catch them and then throw them out. But I don't like that. It's a little too disruptive to the flow of the park. So I'll just stop everything, literally. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to turn off, well, I already turned off the scenery. I'm going to turn off the rides. And then we're just going to comb through the park and hand pick the vandals. Now, the vandals in Parkitect are like that. They are wearing their ball cap backwards and they have a bandana over their face. And well, here you can see they got a bandana, right? So that's a sign of a vandal. And if you go to the traits, it'll list vandal as one of their traits. So I'll move them to outside the park and then ban them, which makes them unhappy, but I don't care. One thing I can't tolerate is vandals. So this looks good. And then let's see. Got another one. He's got his drink or something. And there he is, Vandal, Impatient, and Tidy. So, oh, it's a she, Joyce. Okay, Joyce. Sayonara. Banned. So let's see. So far, so good. We're down to 8. 8 vandals. So then we come over here. Now, sometimes, oh, this guy is actually vandalizing, right? Caught him in the act. So he goes bye-bye. Now, the thing is, sometimes you find people who are just wearing a ball cap backwards. And sometimes you find a guy with a beard who looks like a bandana. So you have to be careful you don't kick the wrong people out of the park. Got 7 more. There's one, stand in line. So we will grab him. Stanley Kirkpatrick. Ciao. And let's see what else. There's another one right here in line. Jane. Okay, Jane. Arrivederci. And a Michael, except they spelled it wrong. Well, I mean, some people do spell their name that way, but the vast majority of Michaels do not spell it that way. I should know. Let's see. Okay, we're down to 4. Another one, standing in line. And there he is. He's disengaged. So we're down to 3. Now you don't have to get every single one. If you get down low enough, the rest just, they say they leave the park, but they just become unvandals. The vandal flag is toggled off. Well, Oh, see Megan there? She looks like a vandal, but she isn't. She just has bad profile. Oh, looky here. Somebody sitting on a park bench, waiting to vandalize. Bye, Florence. Okay, that brings us down to 2. That might be close enough, and I kind of ran out of park. So there's 2 in there somewhere I missed, but let's see. Let's see if this is enough. And that did it. They're out. So now we just go back to what we were doing. Yeah, so, you know, once upon a time, I used to, like, really have a problem with the vandals, and I would specifically make sure there was a little lake on every park I made, and when the vandals did their thing, I didn't drop them outside the park. I dropped them in a little lake until they finally drowned. I don't do that anymore. And the reason I stopped doing it, it makes me feel bad. I mean, it's kind of weird. The older I get, the more like stuff like that really has an impact on me. So, I'm kinder and gentler than I have been in the past, I guess. But, okay, so this new concession area is gonna be another branch off of our arterial. And what we want to do is we want to add some arches to this wall I just laid down. That'll probably be for the bathroom, restrooms, water closet, loo, whatever you want to call it. These will be for the initial concessions. So we have a sub sandwich shop, so that's different than the other ones. We'll definitely put a sub sandwich shop in there. And this hole will actually be for the gate for employees to come in and out of the space, because, you know, we'll need to put a break room for them in this space, and we need to have the receptacles for the janitors to come in and dump trash. So we'll do that here. This employee pathway will sit 1 tile back from the wall so that we have room for the concessions, just like we did with the original concessions back in the day. And so this is the employee break room. And turn it so it actually faces the path. And this is the depot where our haulers will receive goods, supplies for the concessions. And this is the trash chute where the janitors can dump off the stuff they pull out of the trash bins. And then this is the connection to the main system. So that it's all connected. Ooh, yeah, I'm out of cash. Barely. Once I get access to the wooden roller coaster, I was planning on getting a new big loan anyway, because that's going to be a pricey investment, but I don't want to get that loan now. I mean, I could use it now, definitely, but I'd rather save it for the roller coaster. But there you go. That's essentially finished. You just got to put in the concessions, but I can't afford them right now. And we're a little bit in the hole. Let's look at the numbers here. So food and drinks, but you know, a lot of money on supplies, right? Because we have a new set. Ride admissions are okay, but we had another pretty short operating budget profit. Immersion's getting up there. These numbers are looking, I mean, these results are looking pretty good. Somebody's always upset about the Ferris wheel. Okay. The thing is, I need to put in toilets. And I don't have the money. $250. Oh, so I have some money now. So I was reading the wrong number. I was reading my operating profit from last month and not the actual, at the time, red number that showed my cash on hand. I get it now. Perhaps I need to caffeinate in the middle of the day. Okay. So we're going to be tight on cash for a little bit. See if there's any more vandalism. Okay. So we're good. So the question is how do I connect the existing arterial with the concession stand? And I'm really thinking it's time. Maybe it's time to replace Alpine Panic. So the way we normally go about this is we basically just remove access so nobody gets in line, and then we'll let those in line actually have their run, and then once the attraction has nobody left on it, then we will go ahead and kill it off. That's the last of them. So the question is, how am I going to connect these two? And also, what am I going to use in this space, in these spaces, right? This whole corner. Oh, what amazes me, if you ever go to some of these actual parks, sometimes they'll take out like one big ride and then they try to cram in like 3 or 4 attractions in the same footprint, which is pretty aggressive, right? Sometimes it feels a little crowded. Sometimes it works, but it's all about the space. They say time is money, but you know, space is money too. So, okay, these are the last 3. And I think we're all done, right? There's nobody left on it? Yep. Okay. Bloop. Okay. Now, these guys are looking at a ride that's not there. Maybe they're just so startled that it was there a second ago and now it's gone. That's what it is. Oh boy. Once they get off the path, they really just kind of lose direction. Okay, I made it. Wait for him to turn back before I kill it. That guy's still looking at a ride that's not there. 2 of them. Okay, 1, There we go. Okay. Okay, this is proof why I need to fire my research staff. So I've just spent a couple months and a bunch of bucks to basically have them come up with the idea of putting a vending machine in my park. Oh, I mean, that's the one that I should have by default on every single scenario. Like, that's the one you have if you have no other options. It's certainly not one I should have to research for. I mean, you go to a high school, right? They have vending machines in the cafeteria. Oh boy. It's like, what am I going to invent next? Water fountains? Okay, let's see. So, this is April. In April, we had a pretty good concessions run. Not fabulous, but pretty good. Decent ride admissions, not bad. Park admissions are actually up, which is pretty good. So I've had a better operational profit than I've had for a few months. Things are actually looking pretty good. People are still thirsty. No red on the top part of the board. Lots of people happy with the scenery. Can't wait till Alpine Panic's open. Well, you're going to be waiting a while. Let's see. And the only red thing we have is somebody's upset about how much Twister costs. Well, where do we go from here? Let's connect the concessions to the rest of the park. Well, here's... So none of these line up, which kind of screams to me in my own compulsive way, but here, we'll make the best of it. Make it work. So, on one of my trips to Magic Mountain in California, we went. This was at a time when my cousins live with us. Some of my cousins live with us, and so we went with them, right? Or they went with us, or however you want to slice it. But while we were at Magic Mountain, I had always wanted one of those cans that you open and the snakes pop out. Always wanted that, ever since I saw it on a kid show. And they had it, right? It was a can of peanut brittle, and if you open it, the snakes popped out. So I was like, perfect. So I got that. Now, I'm at Magic Mountain. I bought it. My cousins are with me, but they didn't see me buy it. So the first time I got to use it on anybody, in fact, I would argue the only time I successfully used it on somebody was there with my cousins, where, you know, I come out and they're like, what'd you get in the gift shop? And I says, I got some peanut brittle. And like, oh, I want some peanut brittle. I'm like, well, have some. And he opens up the can and snakes pop out and he freaks out. And the thing is, of course, he did it at Magic Mountain, which is full of people. So a lot of people saw it happen and thought it was pretty funny. Now, I don't remember how old we were. I don't know. Okay, I was 11 or something. Anyhow, and you know, my cousins, one was like 8 or 9 at that point, the other one was 7. And I liked it that people noticed and laughed at it. They liked it that people laughed and noticed at it. So then we probably staged a quote-unquote surprise opening like 4 or 5 more times in other parts of the park, right? It was almost like our own little show. And in looking back, of course, the performances sucked. I mean, it was, you know, it's one of those things like, hey, can I have some peanut brittle? Why, yes, here's a can. Sproing, oh, yo, you really scared me. It was just about that bad, right? It was, oh boy. And, you know, we still got some people chuckling, which kept us at it. You know, when you're a kid, here's the thing that adults forget. Kids have very different standards than adults. That's all there is to it. Totally different value system entirely. Which is why I think some adults get so frustrated with kids, is because they forgot the value system, right? Like, adults do things because they're rewarded for it, right? They get paid for it or whatever. Kids do stuff unless they specifically get in trouble, and even then they still do it. So you know, it's a whole different mindset. I'm not saying it's better. I'm not saying it's worse. I'm just saying it's different. And when you grow up, I you know, kind of like the whole, like Robin Williams in Hook, right? You ever see that? You know, he was Peter Pan, right? He was the ultimate dreamer, and yet he grew up. Let's just call this corner family restrooms, washrooms. Let's go with restrooms. We're in New England still. Anyway, so yeah, when Peter Pan grew up, he forgot all the stuff that made him a kid, and Peter Pan, for that matter. So half the movie is him rediscovering it. Hook was an awesome movie. You know, well, what do you expect? It's a Spielberg movie plus, but you know, they had to trim a lot out for their initial theatrical run. Oh, food is down a little bit. Ride admissions are doing okay. They're doing okay. Park admissions are way down. And we still have an operational profit, but you know, it's not fabulous. It doesn't have me running to the bank with a check in my hand. Nausea is creeping up, and so is thirst. So, while I'm here, I think I'll start buying little pieces of land here, so that in the unlikely event my research staff do ever strike upon something like my wooden roller coaster, we'll have a place to put it. Yeah, I know that if I want them to come up with a wooden roller coaster, I need to put them back on coaster research, but I still need a couple more thrill rides before we do that. Let's hook the shop up. That's not going to do me any good without a hauler, though, so let me hire a hauler, or hauler for a hire, or oh my gosh, say that 12 times fast. Okay, hire a hauler. Whew. I don't think I could properly tackle that term even when I'm at my best. Okay, so let's populate our arterial here. So let's put a bench here and a bench here, and then right down the line again. Let's light up their life. And there you go. You know, when you play a lot of computer games like this, well, I don't know about you. If I play a lot of computer games like this, sometimes when I'm out and about in the real world, which, you know, sometimes I want to, a lot of times I have to go out and function in the real world for some reason, and it is, there's sometimes, like, you'll see like some damage in a building, like maybe there was a traffic accident, car slammed into a building or something like that. And the reaction, if you play a lot of games, sometimes like, oh, why don't they just repair that, right? Why can't they just, like, replace those blocks? Or like if we've been playing a lot of Icarus, so the repair mechanic in Icarus is you pound on the broken base piece or equipment with your hammer, which so why don't you just pound on it with a hammer, which I find doubly funny because they have abstracted the whole repair process down to pounding the snot out of something. So I guess I can't put... It's too close. So I will leave that one open and I'll put a fountain or something there. But anyway, they've abstracted the whole repair process of pounding the snot out of something with a hammer, which, going back to a discussion I had a few episodes ago, that's how they make little rocks out of big rocks. It's pounding on something with a hammer. That is not how you repair. I can assure you that when you go into the doctor's office, like, hey, doctor, I have a problem. What happened? I broke my leg. Okay, well, let me just break out this hammer here and beat on you, and that should put your leg right as rain. No, it doesn't work that way. Same thing, like, Orbiter. That looks like another spin ride. It does have high excitement. It has pretty high excitement. It's right on the verge of high. Yeah, okay. Food for thought. Anyway, it cracks me up too. Like when your window block is breaking, it's like, okay, fix it. Start smashing it with a hammer. Isn't that how I got here in the first place? Yeah. I get it. I get it. We were goofing around with Space Engineers the other day for the first time, and that really doesn't have much of a tutorial. Plus, we jumped straight into multiplayer, and 44 Bunker Hill fans. Okay. So we jumped straight into multiplayer, and the two of us had never played really before. So, talk about the blind leading the blind. But we crashed into a bunch of stuff, and then figured out you can use a torch to repair stuff. Okay, again, torch is cut. So this is probably the worst operational profit I've made in a while. I can't believe it's all due to me getting rid of Alpine Panic. It could be. We got a gentle monorail ride coming, and the orbiter is producing popcorn. That's not what I needed. Immersion's still pretty good. Thirst is really creeping up. What are these people doing? I'm not in the Mojave, am I? No, scenery here is amazing. Good. Had a great time. Good. Let's see. I want to get something from Potent Potables. Of course, everyone's thirsty. I'm not paying that much for the ride of Paul Revere. Yep. Ferris Wheel Classic's taking forever. Yep. Yes, it does. That's just how these things work. Ooh. Well, looking at the clock, I don't think I really have time for running another month. So let's kind of take a step back and think about where we are, where we're going. Now, the corner's now opened up for business with the concessions, and that's good. We'll need to flesh out that concession area. The area between the concessions and the front of the park is wide open for something, so a fairly good size attraction. And then this area out here to the southeast, that's wide open, and I'm starting to think that maybe we will put some modern coaster type there, just because I have a bunch of them, and we need a big ticket item sooner rather than later. And of course, I'm not going to be able to pull that off with the current change I have in my pocket now. So we'll have to take out a big old loan on that one and then use it all up. But this was good. This was really good. I'm really liking how this is shaping up, except for the fact that I am a little cash poor at the moment. I think it's working out great. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I sure did, and I hope you come back for the next one. I sure will be. And until then, I hope this finds you and yours in good health, good spirits, and perhaps a touch of good fortune. Cheers.